Hello and welcome. I am Lee, the Nursepreneur, and I am a health coach, a personal trainer, and a published author. And my mission is to help women like you find your voice, write your story, and step boldly into a life designed by you, not by default. And today, I'm going to walk you through how my Speak framework can help you finally write that book you've been carrying in your heart. Build a brand that's as unique as your voice and overcome every doubt that has held you back. Because let's be honest, we all have them, yes? So let's dive in and welcome. So let's talk about some of the, let's say, objections or old patterns or old identities of you you've had, old versions of you. I see you, the woman who's been the caretaker, the worker, the friend, the mother, the provider, the homemaker, the professional, the corporate lady, possibly doing all of those things at the same time. And you put your story last. The one who believes, I'm not a writer, is that you? Or who would even care about my story? Or I don't have time. Or maybe you've been burned out and overwhelmed by the idea of writing or sharing your truth. So let's get real. You're not alone in these thoughts at all. But here's the thing. These thoughts are a part of our old identity. You want to tell your story, but we keep repeating those old stories. The woman who stays quiet to keep other people comfortable. Is that you? The woman who believes playing small keeps her safe. Stepping into the unknown can be very scary. And the woman who's scared of what other people will think when she speaks up. That's a very common one. So here we go. Let's talk about it. We want to change some of these ideas so that we can make progress, yes? Okay, so what if I told you there was a new identity waiting for you? The woman who owns her own voice. The woman who turns her story into impact and income. The woman who sees writing a book as a dream, but as a declaration of who she is now. And that's what happens when you speak. You transform the old beliefs into my story matters. My voice has value. It's time to rise. So here we are, the framework of the book Speak. The letters in the book Speak are S-P-E-A-K. So let's talk about it. The S in Speak is to share your story. Tell your story. It is time to release that story. I know we've been hiding it for a long time, but it really just needs to be told. And we're going to dive into that. Your story is, by the way, the heartbeat. We start here. The raw moments that shaped you and how to tell them in a way that's magnetic and not messy. Yeah, the P in Speak is the pain. Pain is your power. I know. It's not what you might have thought in your previous belief, but we get honest about the shame, the fear, and the things you've survived because that's where the resonance lies. The E in Speak is to elevate. Elevate your voice. Elevate your brand. We move from surviving to thriving. So here you elevate your voice and transform those hard stories into lessons and breakthroughs. This is all part of the new you. This is all part of what I'm going to help you do. The A in Speak is authority. This is where we brand you. Your story becomes your brand, and your book becomes the proof of who you are. No apologizing anymore. No more apologizing. And then the K is for we finally ignite your story. We're going to kindle that story. We're going to take your manuscript from idea to bestseller. So you're a best-selling author. You are a best-selling author of a best-selling book. Creating a brand that lies beyond the book and speaks to your truth to the world. And also, for the letter K, is to keep it simple. We're not about perfection. We want to keep it simple. Get the story told. I want to show you or share with you about a couple of women that I've worked with. One of them, and both of them had transformation. Zuri is one of them, and she had this fantastical book, but was overwhelmed by perfectionism. She had the idea, she had the concept, she had the story. It was animal characters in the story that had personalities and had names, and she needed accountability. She needed someone to say, yes, it is worth it. Yes, it is worth writing that book. Yes, many people are going to read that book. And yes, you are ready. Yes, you are ready. She trusted the process, used the Speak framework, and now her book is out there, no longer just an idea, but a living message, ready for a sequel or a movie or a play. There's so many things you can do. It's a very fantastical book. It's really a very, very, very fun book. And I loved her process and her idea. And when I first heard what she wanted to do with it, I was super excited for her. And then there's Winnie. Winnie, I met in person. I was at an event. We sat across each other at a table. She was not at the event I went to. As women do, we got chatting. And I asked her some things about herself. Turns out she too, as I am, was a nurse. She's a registered nurse. She's a nurse practitioner. And she had practiced in the rural South and is now retired. And her stories were from like 20 plus years ago. She was a community nurse in the rural South. You know, there's no cell phone. She was off the grid. It was some crazy times out there. She had kept her manuscript for well over 15 years. And she did have somebody that at one time was going to help her with the story, and something happened with that person, and then she just kept the story. And because she lives in the community where many or some of the characters in her book, no names of individuals are mentioned for a host of reasons. And she, with no social media presence, she's not on Facebook or any other platform, I was able to get her book to best-selling status, best-selling author in various categories. And so that's what happened with her book. It's very exciting. She talks about the chaos and the comedic aspects of what happened in her real world. And her goal in getting a book to bestseller, she wanted to share her story with others. People have different reasons why they want to tell the story, but she had no social media presence whatsoever, no fancy funnel, no anything. I was able to, with her permission, promote her book and get her story told. So that book is out there also. So here's the thing. Let's talk about this. Are you ready to step into your new identity? The identity that you see yourself as, but you're challenged because you're going into the unknown. Are you done hiding your story because of fear or procrastination? You don't have a system, you don't have a structure, you're not sure even where to begin. Are you ready to take that first step towards writing your book and building the brand that is waiting for you, by the way? It is waiting for you. Many people need help. They need ideas. I'm forever, every day, looking online for ideas. So the book is not necessarily your story, but it'll be something that you want to share with the world because you are an expert in whatever you are an expert in. And people are looking for information all the time. It could be something you do in your everyday work life that you've been doing for some time that you are an expert at. And you can help others do the same thing. I'm here to help you because your story deserves to be heard. And you deserve to be known as the powerful, wise, and unstoppable woman that you are. So if you are feeling that spark, you know this is you want to tell your story, then let's talk about that. Let's talk about getting your book out to the world, sharing your expertise, sharing your story, becoming a bestseller, and building that brand that lives beyond the page. Are you ready? Are you ready to speak, write, rise? And will the new you, the one that you've been maybe sitting on, hiding behind, come forth and tell that amazing story of you or the expertise that you want to share with the world? And write it, as I did my book, Speak, as a guide. People are looking for systems. People are looking for help. They are looking for a way. And many of us are sitting on that system that is going to help others, have impact, have legacy, and help others and release your story. And if it is your story, I'll help you get to where you can share that story, because many of us, we're worried about what people will think, or we don't think our story is good enough, or we're worried about, feeling some shame or embarrassment about sharing some of those things. But that is, as I said on the letter P in Speak, where the power is. When we release that, you're not just empowering someone else, you are, in fact, empowering yourself. So the question is, are you ready?